Lost you.
Yay. Here we are. Talented Mr. Ripley. So I'm just going to read from Wikipedia to give an overview from it. And Wikipedia says, The Talented Mr. Ripley is a 1999 American psychological thriller film written and directed by Anthony Minghella and based on Patricia Highsmith's 1955 novel of the same name. Set in the 1950s, it stars Matt Damon as Tom Ripley, a con artist who is sent from New York City to Italy to convince Dickie Greenleaf, a rich and spoiled playboy, to return home. However, after failing, Ripley takes extreme measures. Jude Law, Gwyneth Paltrow, Cate Blanchett, and Seymour Hoffman also appear in supporting roles. The film was a critical and commercial success, grossing $128 million worldwide. It received 5 Academy Award nominations, including Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Supporting Actor for Law. It's set in New York City, 1959. Tom Ripley is approached by shipping magnate Herbert Greenleaf, who believes that Ripley attended Princeton with his son Dickie, as he is wearing a borrowed Princeton jacket from the class of 1956. Greenleaf pays Ripley $1,000 to travel to Italy, where Dickie has settled to persuade him to return to the United States. On a first-class ocean liner voyage, Ripley pretends to be Dickie in the terminal and befriends American socialite Meredith Loeb. So I had seen this movie when it came out in the theaters in 1999, and I liked it quite a bit when I saw it there. I guess I liked the kind of the emerging stars that were in it. Jude Law and all of them. Seymour Hoffman. I don't know that I'd ever seen Seymour Hoffman in a movie before this, but I mean, and looking at Cate Blanchett and Gwyneth Paltrow, they just seem so young and all. And I liked the scenery too, and I thought it was I don't know, what would you call it, like noir or something like that. But I really liked it at the time, and watching it the second time, I wasn't quite as fascinated with it. It seemed pretty brutal in some parts, and all that. But still, I think it was a good movie. It must have been pretty well. It was well received. So I'm curious to see what you all thought, and if you had seen it before, things like that. Has anybody seen it before?
I had not.
No.
Yes.
No, I saw it. Yeah.
Had not.
Yeah.
Sanders, you had not seen it before?
No.
What was your take?
I don't know. I got kind of bored with it after a while, to be honest with you. I don't know. It was like they started out and it was going to be like a Hitchcockian mystery, but then there really wasn't much mystery. Whenever he ran into somebody that was in any trouble, he bludgeoned them to death. Yeah. So maybe it was my mood at the time or something like that. I mean, it was worth sitting through, but if I was going to I would give it a thumbs up, I guess. But if I was in the gallery, I would say 3 out of 4 stars maybe.
Yeah, well, I thought the title, Talented Mr. Ripley. I mean, he is a accomplished piano player. He is accomplished in foreign languages. He is accomplished at adapting other people's voices and being able to forge their voices. He's quite adept at figuring out, but to me, the fact that he ends up using violence was, I thought was the cheapest way out for the movie, and I thought it could have been much more and kind of ended up on just being a, Fight Club movie. So,
Yeah, it was extremely dark, you know.
Were you surprised when he whacked him in the head with the oar in the boat there? I mean, I did not frankly see that coming. I mean, their conversation got heated for sure. I just figured they'd row back to shore and part company. I didn't expect Damon to go off and whack him upside the head. So that certainly
yeah,
was a bit of
I
a
thought he was going to use,
movie turned at that point.
yeah, I'm with you, Pete. I thought he was going to use his cunning and his skills and his language and his everything to figure this out. And then it just became a movie
violence.
and I thought that was a cheap way out.
Bill,
think
you read in your what you were reading there off of Wikipedia, you identified him as a con man. Was he a con man all along, or did he turn into a con man when he saw the opportunities that presented themselves to him when he got to Italy? You know, I mean, was he wearing the Princeton jacket just because he didn't have any money and he came across a Princeton jacket, or was he wearing the Princeton jacket because that was in service of some kind of a ruse or to put on some kind of an air or misrepresent himself? Because he just, to me, I just felt he went over there to do a job, $1,000. He could use the money.
Right.
And when he kind of surveyed the situation, go, well, you know what, I could get something going here. You know, was he a con man going in, or did he become a con man after he kind of saw the dynamics of the situation in Italy?
But if you go back to the origin of the story, the whole meetup that he had with Greenleaf's father was a chance encounter because he's playing piano as a fill-in for somebody's opera performance.
Right.
So it's a questionable start to begin with,
And he had to hustle to his bathroom attendant gig.
Yeah.
Right,
Right.
right. Yeah, I did.
The only curiosity to me in this, which I thought was a middling movie, was the book. And I have not read the book, and I'm not going to read the book, but a 1950s episode with the degree of homosexual inferences was pretty different.
Well, it wasn't shot in the 50s.
No, I know that, and that's why I don't know if the book is the same or true to that or not.
As you know, I always question what was the intent of the movie maker, and sometimes I think the intent of the movie maker was figure out how to spend a lot of time in Rome, Venice, Naples, and have somebody else pay for it in very lavish hotels.
Yeah,
And
Ripley's gig too.
Say again, Jeff.
That was Ripley's gig too, to
Yeah.
go to fancy places and hang out there on somebody else's tab.
Yeah.
He did not want to go home. I know that.
No.
The director was in the same mindset.
Yeah, I think that Ripley was a character who was ultimately adaptable, and he was very good at soaking up different talents and skills and so forth. And so he did whatever was necessary at any given moment, whatever circumstance, whether it was whacking Dickie in the head with an oar, or whether it was learning a language or playing music or deceiving somebody one way or another. He just did whatever he had to do to keep moving forward. I thought that he was a fascinating character in that respect, and that kind of kept my interest for the movie. I understand what people are saying about it. It's kind of a mad movie, but the character that they developed with him was something else. And Philip Seymour Hoffman was also his usual.
Do you think he owned that prior, or did he just have to zig and zag his way once he got his hands on the $1,000?
I think he was an opportunist from the get-go and had some talents to get it. And I think that he probably had that Princeton jacket on purpose to fit in with the crowd that he was going to join.
Right.
And And he was ready to capitalize on that the moment an opportunity came up.
But I don't think that was an indication that he was a huge con artist coming into the movie.
Yeah, he had to really school himself on jazz.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
he had a love of playing piano for sure. You know,
Yeah, but classical.
Yeah. He was a sponge for whatever he wanted to find out about. He could soak it up.
because they, you know, I wasn't at the first of the movie that they like it was said the talented Mr. For it was the talented thing was spinning, and it would say, you know, the marvelous, the wonderful, and then it settled on the talented Mr. Ripley. And then a couple of times during the movie, there are inferences. I think there was one scene where Philip Hoffman said, "You're very talented, Mr. Ripley," you know, and that might happen at other places too, you know, and
Well, there was a scene where Jude Law said you should only have one talent.
Yeah,
Right.
Remember that when they were sitting outside and Gwyneth Paltrow went in
Right.
to make martinis or something? You should only have one talent.
and he had 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pete, do you have sunscreen on? I'm worried about you there on the beach.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
All right. Okay.
He's got a hat, you know.
Okay.
I've got somebody you can't see, but I got somebody waving a thing in front of me there too.
A palm frond.
For the
Oh,
photo
God.
shoot. Yeah.
Watch out for oars.
You look
Yeah, really.
overdressed. You look overdressed for the beach. I'm just saying.
I am a little warm. I won't lie. I'm a little warm.
There was a lot of imagery of reflections. And so he was like mirroring whatever anybody wanted to see. When they would look at him, he would give them what they expected. With the exception of Hoffman. Hoffman never bought it. And I think Gwyneth Paltrow quickly became a disbeliever too. But I found that was the only thing that I did find interesting, is that the piano cover, there's a reflection of him in there. He's actually looking in a mirror and making himself up one time. And he walks by mirrors and checks himself out. Very narcissistic, I guess.
Yeah, and he dances in the shoes of Dickie, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Very.
Yeah.
Hey, so just a little heads up. If you're going to go confront somebody about the disappearance of your friend as well as his friend, don't turn your back on the son of a bitch.
Yeah.
No, serious. I mean, that
Yeah.
happened right down the street from where I used to live as a kid. One of my friends' nephews murdered and chopped up somebody. And then a friend came over looking for that person, and he got the same treatment.
Oh
So-
my God.
Just in case you ever go confronting, hey, do you know where Bill? We know where Joe is.
let's don't make
You
it.
know where Billy Joe is? It's like, yeah, let me follow you out into the woods. I think he's out there somewhere.
So,
They did kind of, the director did kind of make the Italian police kind of look like Keystone Cops a few times.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
Dickie really killed these people after he got bludgeoned to death? Wait a minute, didn't they notice his head was caved in? I mean, how could he get away and then actually be the killer and that sort of thing?
But then the private detective that the shipping magnate hired to come really was no better. I mean, he completely figured out a way for it to be Dickie, and that Tom was okay. And then they hauled off Gwyneth Paltrow when she started to object, was screaming at the dock. It's like, shut up, come on with us. You're just hysterical.
Yes.
So-
You're just a woman. Yes.
Yeah, and didn't he also say they were convinced he committed suicide?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dickie
I mean,
committed suicide? How would you commit suicide? By banging yourself with an oar? I don't know.
Did they
But,
ever
so-
even find Dickie though? Was he was in,
I don't
he was
think
deep
so.
sixth, I think. It was
Yeah.
the boat that
I
got
don't think
found.
so.
Right. And
Did they ever
so I was
find Dickie's body?
They thought Dickie killed the Italian gal who was pregnant.
Right.
Sylvana.
Silvana.
Yeah.
So what was the scene, or what was the image that we were supposed to take away from Ripley embracing Dickie in the boat full of blood. What were we supposed to take from that?
Oh, I think he was in love with him. I mean, he was clearly gay, and in the
He was.
50s, that was not a cool thing. And I think he was in love with him, and that's why he got so pissed off. Is he spurned lover and all that. And he whacked him one. The same with
That's
the other guy.
Probably true, but I think the other interpretation could be that he was absorbing his soul.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
yeah.
was, yeah, that's probably mine too. I think, there's a lot of scenes in there, and I think what Mike mentioned, not only the mirror, but there's a lot of scenes where you see like half his face. And I always took that meaning like he's not all there. He's half Ripley and half whoever he wants to be at the time, and this time it happened to be Greenleaf. I thought that Damon did a pretty good job of being a kind of a nerd that turns, that absorbs, like someone said, all of his all of Greenleaf's feelings. And I mean, it seemed like he just wanted to be anybody but who he was. And whether that was because he was poor or just because he didn't like him, whatever it was. And I think when the opportunity, like someone said, when the opportunity became ready, when he could take the place of first the piano player saying that he's from Princeton when he wasn't, and then the next thing is that he's going to go see Dickie, and then the next thing is to actually make sure that he knows enough about Dickie to get him to be best friends, and then to absorb the whole personality. And had to, I think he had to get rid of him because he was becoming Dickie, and I guess I liked it more than a lot of you guys did. I had seen it before and I liked it before, but this time I looked at it, I don't know why I looked at it a little differently. But I thought Damon did a good job of going from this nerd character and then becoming the, suave and sophisticated character. It was kind of like the Superman, like he mentioned, but he's in reverse. When he took his glasses off, he could become Dickie much easier and became a lot more suave. And even his body, his actions, everything seemed to change a little bit. Anyway, I like most movies, so I liked it. I wasn't and I didn't think that there was anything else he could do but kill Dickie. I couldn't think of I thought he was nuts from the beginning, and so I just thought that the ending would have to be a crazy ending, like he's gonna kill somebody.
So if he was a talented Mr. Ripley, rank his talents. What were
well those are, the talents are, like just what you said, Gary. The talents are is that he can forge a signature. He can become another person pretty easily. He can sound like another person. He even could sing like another person. When he was singing My Funny Valentine, it kind of sounded like the record that he had played prior to that. Remember when he found out that was his girlfriend? I think that was Gwyneth Paltrow's favorite song, and so Dickie sang it to her, and he was singing it, and it was like, boy, that sounds exactly like that record that he was listening to. So yeah, his talent was being a mimic, a grand mimic, and it's and he took it to the nth degree, I think.
And
It goes back to that mirror idea.
Yeah.
well, the most best line in the film is that line where it came up, I think, in the beginning, at the end. I always thought it'd be better to be a fake somebody than a real nobody.
Yes, that's right.
And I hadn't really thought about it until you guys started talking about him absorbing personalities, but he was, didn't he kind of become a fake somebody 3 times. I mean,
Yeah.
with each death.
Hmm.
you
There
know,
were two times where it seemed like he was almost ready to just come clean. One was when the Italian police were there and Gwyneth Paltrow was outside and he said, let her
Right.
in. Then at the last minute, he waves her off because that was going to blow his cover. And then at the very end, when him and Peter, whatever, they're in the cabin on that small boat and he's talking about what you were saying, Bill. And it sounded like he was getting ready to just unload. And then clearly he does
Yeah.
not. He opts to strangle him apparently instead. But by the way, that begs the question: what the hell to do with that body? Because they're on a small boat out on the water, so that wouldn't be tough to get rid of. I think the last scene there, you see him contemplating
Overboard.
going,
Yeah.
another body to get rid of here. So
Right.
That always ends up the same answer. It was it's a movie or
Yeah.
aliens.
I mean, I guess, that since he had already gotten away with it twice, that because they could have gone on, right? I mean, when it was over, I was sitting there going, it's over, but I guess they just, they're saying, well, he's going to get away with this.
well, I'm not so sure, Bill. I mean, they're on a boat. It's daytime. You got a guy in a room dead. So
Yeah.
Well, you had a guy in a room dead before. Blood everywhere.
Yeah.
Chris, you've been awfully quiet.
I'm listening, but I do have a few comments. I was curious about the music part, and so I looked it up. Jude Law learned how to play the sax for this movie, for the part, where he went to the jazz ensembles. He actually had to learn. And then Matt Damon had to learn how to play the piano for the film, but the music that he's pretending to play is actually done by a couple other people. But it looks like he's playing it because he learned how to play the piano. So I was really curious about that. And then Roger Ebert, who I love, gave it 4 out of 4 stars, calling it an intelligent thriller that is insidious in the way it leads us to identify with Tom Ripley. He is a monster, but we want him to get away with it. So, yeah, every time. Well, in the end, he does. Greenleaf ends up giving him tons of money, and off he goes. A very, very wealthy man.
Yeah, I think everybody, or at least I, was pulling for him because he was smart as a piano player and a forger. He was clever. But when he resorted to violence, that's when I changed sides.
And you really felt betrayed by his private detective. I mean, he kind of turned it inside out so that somebody else was totally responsible.
Right.
Yeah, I was surprised at that ending. That twist blew it for me.
And then handing over his trust fund to him.
Yeah.
Rewarding.
Wasn't that because there was some dirty laundry in Dickie's closet as well? He killed somebody, or there was something where they needed to sweep some stuff under the carpet, and Ripley helped facilitate getting that deal squared away. So that's why they paid him off.
I don't know.
That?
Dad didn't have a lot of fear.
Yeah.
Some college shenanigans, which I wouldn't know anything about, but
Yeah. But you've heard about it.
I've heard about them.
So this movie makes me wonder how many times people have actually gotten away with shit like that, because a huge number of murders are never solved. So how many people do you and I know that are very high profile, have a lot of money, but they got there by killing somebody? Or, it happens. So it just makes you wonder.
Are you confessing something, Terry?
Who, me?
Wait, he said high profile. Yeah.
We know it was not with a handgun.
That's right.
That's right.
But bludgeoning was something, that could work,
Well, Peter.
Aristotle's head.
Philip Hoffman is such a good actor that didn't you just hate him? Oh,
Oh,
he was
yes.
so when he got,
Creepy.
I didn't feel so bad. I don't know. I just didn't feel so. I mean, I shouldn't say that, but it's like, oh, shut up. He was so awful that you
He's so
just wanted to
smarmy, you just
slap
want
him.
him gone.
Yes.
When he rolls
slimy,
into the place where Law and Ripley are
Yeah.
having lunch, he rolls in there in his sports car. That's where the term "ugly American" comes from, where assholes like that roll in there.
Exactly.
And,
Mhm.
I know everything about him was just awful. Oh, and that's why he's such a good actor. Yeah. Oh, everything he does is right on, and this was the perfect characterization of a slime ball snob.
Mhm.
I didn't think he would make it as an actor after watching this movie, but
Oh God, he's really. I mean, he's not like you've seen him in anything else. He's not like that. That's just this character that he took. He's very good.
I
He's
mean,
passed though, hasn't he?
yeah.
Yes, he has. I
Yeah.
think he killed himself.
OD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's too bad. Yeah.
yeah,
There
yeah.
was
He was
something
so
about-
good.
I read that there might have been fentanyl in the heroin that he was doing.
Hmm.
So
Maybe I
it might
don't
have
know.
been, it might have been an accidental, contamination with fentanyl.
Are you confessing more tonight, Terry?
Yeah. Maybe somebody
What
got
is
away with
this? Fucking grand jury or something? What?
It's
What?
Whoa.
9 angry league.
Anyway,
people.
Philip Seymour Hoffman, the first movie I saw him in was Boogie Nights.
which I was
I was
just
like,
looking that up,
who
Terry.
is
That was
this
before this
guy?
movie. That was before this movie. That was in '97.
Was it?
Yeah, yeah.
Wasn't
Great
he
role in
also?
Boogie Nights.
Wasn't he also in Doubt? Did you guys see Doubt? No, Meryl
Is that about
Streep.
the church and some impropriety?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
Meryl Streep, and I think he was the priest.
Oh,
I
The
think
oddest
it-
Hoffman movie I saw was he was a huffer. Did anybody happen to see that? I don't remember the name of it, but he huffed paint. And
Oh my God, no, I don't remember that.
I knew nothing about that whole world. And then it wasn't long after that, Bill, I don't know if you remember this, but there was an anchor, a weatherman at Channel 4 in Kansas City who died of huffing.
Really?
And,
of what?
huffing paint.
Wow.
What is it about? I don't get it.
With Jude Law's character wasn't exactly a good guy either.
Did he
I know,
win?
but he was charming. And, yes,
he-
he wasn't a good guy, but he was charming and he was good looking and he was, he was likable. I mean, Gwyneth
I don't-
Paltrow was in love with him.
I don't
Phil
think there would
Bonnet
have
was
been
in
any
love with him.
expectations of him being a good guy, though.
No,
Born with a
It
silver
was
spoon
just-
in his mouth.
He was just really spoiled. He was able to pick up things. He was probably a decent student at Princeton, but
Yeah.
he could speak Italian very easily and he
Mhm.
was social and had a lot of charming characteristics, but his basic responsibility to his father and his family for all this money he was getting that he really wasn't earning was not very good.
no.
Well,
So
where did it tell that the dad Greenleaf sent, excuse me, sent him to Italy on purpose to get rid of him? And was that to keep him out of the family business? I don't remember exactly, but that's why he was even over there. Daddy sent him there.
He's
He
trying
told
to
him
bring
to
him
stay.
home though.
I thought that was
Yeah,
just
I think he
normal.
sent
that
him there.
was,
That
I
was
think
a
that was
group.
Probably got in
rude.
trouble, didn't he?
yeah.
Didn't he
Yeah,
get in
right.
some trouble? And so
That's
Daddy
what they
sent him
allude to at the
away.
end of the movie. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Daddy sends him away, and once he sends him away, he doesn't want to come back. So
well, there was something that was kind of confused me was like the passport photo. I mean, I thought one time they flashed it up there early on, and Jude Law didn't even look like that guy. Did anybody else catch that? Or
well, yeah, but that's what they were all saying at the passport agency too. You know, remember Jude Law says, they always ask me, they never think it's me. It doesn't look like me. I remember Jude Law saying that about his own picture. So
Yeah.
that's why I think Tom could get away with saying, you know, they always ask me, you know.
I mean,
Plus, there was a reference to his face getting scratched out supporting suicide, which is something Ripley did. Ripley took a
yeah,
Yeah.
paper clip and scratched it out. And then when they found that later, the cops were saying, well, he didn't leave a note, but he
Yeah.
eliminated himself.
I didn't see this. Oh, there's Doubt, 2008.
Mhm.
But Jeff, one of the early movies that Philip Seymour Hoffman was in was Scent of a Woman.
Ah,
Oh, really?
That was one of
Huh.
yeah.
He was,
Right, he
yeah,
was
yeah,
one of
he was
the-
a student.
1990.
Smarmy student, rich, snobby student.
Another swarmy. Well,
Oh,
probably.
yeah. Kind of at the end there. I think,
Yeah.
or something. Yeah.
All I have to say to that is hoo-ha.
Yeah.
All right, Bill, you gave us plenty to chew on. Good job.
Yeah, no, it's
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, yeah,
good
it was
discussion.
interesting, Bill. Really good.
All right.
What time is it?
Who's next?
I think it's me.
I think
Is
you're
that,
right.
is that right?
Right, yes.
And when is next? Are we doing the day after Christmas? Are we doing the day after New Year's?
We're doing the 8th.
January
Eighth is the next one.
January 8th. We get a nice long hiatus.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I have a choice and it's not going to give people as much fodder to chew on as this one did, but I think it's hilarious. This is my personal opinion. And it is Red, which is the retired extremely dangerous movies and the first one and the second one are different, but if you feel inclined, they're both pretty good, I think. Do you know the movie I'm referring to?
No.
Is this the one with Helen Mirren?
Yeah, Bruce Willis is the main
Okay,
character.
okay.
And Morgan Freeman is in one of them, and a bunch of other people. And
John
oh,
Malkovich.
John
Malkovich.
Malkovich is amazing in these movies.
Yes,
So
yes.
funny. So it's a lighthearted holiday weirdness too,
Yeah,
hopefully for people to enjoy.
yeah, that is
Name of it
good one.
again?
What's the
Red,
name of it?
Red, which stands for retired extremely dangerous.
Yeah,
And don't get that confused with
it's
other
with
movies.
Reds.
Yeah, yeah.
That
And
could be
Terry, I
different.
apologize in advance for the gratuitous gunfire, but it's kind of humorous
Yeah,
in
it's
its
pretty
own
funny.
way.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's violent in a humorous sort of way.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yes.
it really is.
Yeah, oh, it
kinda.
is. It is. Yes. And Malkovich. Yeah. It is.
You know, when I was watching The Talented Mr. Ripley, and Mr. Greenleaf said that Tom Ripley was boring him, I thought, well, then you should start cutting off your fingers and throwing them at him as a reference. That's because if you're really bored with people, that's what you do. You start chopping off your fingers.
Or you take up bird watching.
Yeah.
Or
that.
not.
All right. Has anybody seen Dream Scenario?
No.
I did.
You saw that?
I went and saw it. Yeah, Patty and I, we did that last Tuesday. Tuesday night is the night for discounts at the movies. So we've been doing that. And we went and saw it. And I said, that's pretty good, huh? And she goes, I hated that movie. It's got Nicolas Cage in there. And so it got me started thinking, you know, like I do, like I started waffling and I was like, oh yeah, I don't know if I liked it either. And so I went into the restroom, you know, and there's a guy in there. I saw that he was in the theater and I said, did you like that movie? And he goes, yeah, I kind of liked it. I said, You know what? So,
He didn't say, why are you talking to me in the men's room?
But my wife hated it.
He didn't say, what was the arch that got you here next to the urinal with me? I don't understand.
But it was certainly bizarre, wasn't it? It was certainly bizarre. I mean, and I mean, I would recommend it. I don't think my wife would, but she's not in this Zoom meeting anyway. So, you know.
Gary, would you recommend it?
Oh yeah, and my wife loved it. I mean, it was great.
Oh, good.
Yeah, The World Left Behind. Has anybody seen The World Left Behind?
I
Oh,
wanted to.
Leave the World Behind on
Leave
Netflix.
the World Behind, yeah.
Yes, I did.
I saw it.
That's worth a couple
And?
hours. Yeah.
And that's a thumbs up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, although I'll tell you on Facebook, a number of my Facebook friends were split on it. I was
Why?
surprised. Some people
Why?
thought it was just a waste. Do you know, or Gary would know, Tim Finn used to be a music critic for the Kansas City Star, so he's a critic. And he said it was the worst waste of movie. He said they turned the last hour of it into Mystery Theater 3000 with his family when they were watching it because they thought it was so preposterous.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Well, so it's a dream scenario. It's just outlandish. It's crazy.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's a movie.
Right.
I watched. It's so weird. It's called You, You, and it's a series, and I mean, just it's about a serial murderer, but he looks like, and I hate to say this, but he looks like what was the real serial murderer, the real good-looking guy in the like
Ted Bundy?
Ted Bundy, yes. He looks like Ted Bundy with dark hair. I mean, when I kept saying, God, he looks like somebody, and he was so charming. And maybe after seeing Ripley, I don't know why, but anyway, I started watching it, and it's not something that I thought that I would continue watching, but I did. I kept wanting to know because if anybody liked, I hate when my mind does this. The
like Stranger
serial
Things?
murder that was on a series on regular TV.
The Fugitive?
Not the future. Oh God.
The guy where he was a cop, a forensic
Dixon,
guy?
not Dixon.
No.
Dexter.
Dexter.
That's it. If anybody liked Dexter, I think that you would like this if you liked Dexter, but it's all done like in first person. You hear his mind all the time, and that's what was so interesting. Anyway, so I watched that, and I watched it. So it might be something to watch and see if it pulls you in or not after the first or second one. Boy, it sounds like I'm on a theme here. And the other one I watched
What
was
What was that on?
Oh, I knew you were going to. I think it's got to be on.
Netflix?
I think it's Netflix. Yeah. It's
Oh.
called You.
Leave
And the other one is, again, the Paris Murders. Since I love Paris is one of my favorite cities. And so anything that has Paris in it, I kind of watch, whether it's Emily in Paris or this one I watched. And it's kind of strange. It's not, but again, it's one of those episode things. And I just find it's kind of a woman that's a criminologist that's kind of on the spectrum. So it's kind of interesting to watch her. However, it is in French, and you'll need to watch it with the subtitles if you want. And then the other one I watched, and again, this is something you might want to watch, you might not. It's a movie. It's called Deconstructing Harry, and it's Woody Allen. Now, I would never give Woody Allen another penny, watching, but it was a free thing on Freevee, or one of the freebie things.
That is one of the themes of the LUFC, is you have to separate the art from the artist.
That's right. And I do. I mean, I really think that he is a genius. And this particular one, I think is so self-confessing that I was intrigued by it. It's different. You know, he's a writer and it's so autobiographical in so many ways because he talks about his art and how he's such a bad person and how he wants to go out with younger women and he cheats on his girlfriend. I mean, everything is so autobiographical, at least I thought, but interesting at the same time because you know his background and uh, it's just it
What's
was
it
just
called?
interesting.
What's it called?
Deconstructing Harry.
All right.
And Harry is him basically, and then all of the characters that he writes about in his books are all about him with different names and they played by different. Well, you'll see. It's just an interesting. It's interesting the way he did it. I thought. So.
That one movie that Gary was talking about, Leave the World Behind, it's on Netflix.
Okay, good.
And it's science fiction. I mean,
oh, good.
What? I thought it was. What?
So
It was a documentary.
Anybody see The Finest Kind?
Finest
No.
Kind.
Tommy Lee Jones stars in it, and it's about a kid who is growing up in the Northeast and wants to be a fisherman instead of going to law school at Boston University, which sounds boring to begin with, but I thought it was a pretty good movie.
I just saw that advertised yesterday for the first
It's on
time.
Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
I'm a Tommy Lee Jones fan, so
Yeah.
anything I see with Tommy in
he's
it,
so good.
I'll watch it, so you can't miss. But it is pretty good. It plays out fairly well. And then I happened to watch Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. It's on Disney.
Yes.
I just felt like, hey, I got some time here and why not? And I like the Harrison Ford whole series and everything, and it just kind of, I don't know, it was mindless occupation of your 2 hours, but it was worth it. So
Very entertaining. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I went to the movies to see that one
did you?
because with how with all of his movies, all of it was so much better on the big screen than on a small screen. So yeah, that was good.
I don't think it's making a lot of money.
Probably not.
Getting good reviews from critics.
Well, it went to Disney Plus pretty quickly from the movie theater. So that gives you an indication right there. They can make money at the box office.
Well, when you think about it, he really Raiders of the Lost Ark I remember being in the movie theater, and when that boulder starts rolling towards you, it was like it was so scary and so exciting and all of that. And then all the movies started to get more action and more action and more action until I think that it doesn't have the same punch like it did when back in, what was that, in the 70s? When was Raiders of the Lost Ark? 80s maybe? 70s, 80s?
80s, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, 80s, yeah. So.
And then I can't remember the name of that Danish actor who played the Nazi, but
yes,
we've seen him in a lot of films and he's really good.
Yeah.
It was interesting to see him in that position.
Yeah,
I also want to say, I did watch The Long Strange Trip of Bob Weir. Jeff mentioned that last week and it was great. And I finally watched Little Richard, I Am Everything. That's on HBO Max now.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Not a rental. And Bad Santa. That's my Christmas. Always add to my Christmas list.
I have never seen it.
And Teague watched it with me. She doesn't watch too many movies with me, but she kind of got into that one and had a few belly laughs.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I can do it. I don't know. I have, it's Santa.
Well, yeah, but there's this kid that's in it that's endearing as all get out, and that's what wins him over, and that's what wins you over too.
Okay. All right. In that case.
So is that the first one, Mike?
Yeah, first one, and it's on Paramount Plus also. I got
There's
stuck
a
on
series. There's Bad Santa 2.
Oh yeah, there's Bad Santa 2 and 3.
Oh my God!
You're extra credit, Gary. You
The franchise.
3.
That same kid is in Bad Santa too, and he's like
I'm way behind.
He's like 20. There's like 14 years in between the Bad Santa and Bad Santa 2.
Staying on that genre, Cecilia and I watched. It's a
There's a whole
combination of a
genre?
Hallmark movie and a
It's a what?
slasher movie. We watched Santa's Slay, SLAY.
Oh, no.
Goldberg, the wrestler, plays Santa, and I'm not going to spoiler. I don't want to spoil it or anything, but the opening scene is worth checking. This you can dial it off after the opening scene because Chris Kattan, Robert Culp, Fran Drescher, all these celebrities are in the opening scene of this movie, Santa's Slay. I highly recommend that. And then on a serious note, I hesitate to recommend a series. I'm watching season 5 of Fargo with Juno Temple. It's fantastic. It's
Really?
I love the movie. I
Okay.
haven't seen.
So version 5 is worth it?
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know. Where is that?
Um,
Where is it seen?
I think Minnesota.
No.
I mean,
What
Oh.
streaming
I'm
channel?
sorry. Hulu.
Hulu. Yeah.
FX, but I watched it on Hulu. Yeah.
Okay.
There is
Not
one more that I was going to
Minnesota.
mention. Since we are in the movies, there's a series called The Movies That Made Us. And it is there's like 6 episodes, and each episode takes one movie that really changed things. And I think it's really good. So it's called The Movies That Made Us. I don't know what it's on, but it's pretty good.
For those of
Chris?
us not going on cruises, we're gonna have a lot of time, I guess.
Chris,
Hi.
you literally raised your hand. Very
Yeah, you
good.
raise your hand.
But, sometimes you can't get a word in, but just saying.
Sorry.
This Wednesday on Netflix, Maestro comes out.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes, I can't wait. Bradley Cooper,
Yep.
Leonard Bernstein. Yeah.
Now,
Um,
did that ever make the theaters, or did it just go straight?
No.
Oh yeah, it's at the theaters.
No, it was at
Was
the
it?
theater. It was at the theaters last weekend, so it could qualify for Oscars, and then went to Netflix starting
okay.
Wednesday. Yeah.
Terry raised his hand. Are you?
Just as an example that it can be done.
Oh, okay. Sorry, maybe Chris wasn't done.
I was,
Oh.
but thank you for acknowledging me.
Yes, Mike. Yes, Mike.
Maestro is on Wednesday, but there is a series called Maestra, and it's on Hulu, and it's women directors, and it's a documentary about the unsung women directors of the world. I think they cover 8 women over 6 weeks or something like that. So
Wow.
I thought that might be an interesting tandem to catch Bradley Cooper's thing and then see, what they did before as more of a straight documentary for the women.
My compliments,
I'll
Sam.
bet they're a
You
little
have both
different.
an analog hand and a virtual hand up at the same time. Very nice.
Oh, who did that? I did that?
You did
I didn't
that.
know I did.
Yeah.
I didn't know I did that.
I think if you put your hand up, it might. Yeah, it might.
Oh, it does it. Oh, okay. I didn't do that.
Oh, really?
It's just me putting my hand up.
Look at us. We're
So
so
if I pull my pants down, what do you get?
Secret
If I
Square.
turn you, do you see a little moon over in the corner? Is that?
Well, there's the end of the meeting. Yeah.
Thank God this is recorded.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Jeff
Peter,
Arthur, you got anything?
I don't have any recommendations, no.
we should.
Who's coming? Who's going to be on the 8th? Did we get that straight?
Copeland.
Jeff.
We did.
Jeff.
Yeah,
All right.
red. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
The discussion of red.
Are you having short-term memory issues, Sanders? I mean, do we need?
What'd you
What?
say?
So is
Did you
Donna
repeat
after
that?
Or hearing problems.
No, I wear hearing aids now, Whitaker. You may not know that, but I do.
What?
Oops.
Saw that coming. I'm here all week.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, Mattson, while I have you, do you want to play golf on Wednesday?
No,
No?
no, I can't. I got too much to do. We're heading out of town Friday, go to New Orleans for Christmas.
This is Wednesday.
I got too much to do.
Oh, geez. Does anybody else want to play golf on Wednesday?
I'd love to, but
Oh, no,
Well, Gary, as you can see, the weather here is gorgeous.
Yeah.
you could
Council,
go where Pete is and play with him.
be sure and tell Mike and Linda that we're thinking about them.
I will, for sure. I will. I will pass it on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was gonna
no worries.
email Mattson. Holy cow.
I did my best George Takei impersonation. Oh my.
yeah.
Yeah, right. Yep.
He was in that one series that I watched a few weeks ago, The Blue-Eyed Samurai. He played a role in that series. It's actually pretty good.
Has anybody else seen Napoleon?
Yeah, I've seen it.
What'd you think?
I liked it. It was like I said before, don't remember too much video information on Napoleon. I thought it was well acted and interesting, so that was good.
Has anybody seen the Emma Stone movie? What's it called? Little Things, Pretty Things, Weird Things?
I haven't. It looks kind of bizarre.
Yeah, very bizarre.
You saw it?
No, not yet.
There is she's in a series that's called The Curse. That's pretty good. I started that. I watched the first 2 episodes of that. That's like a 8-part thing, and I think it's on Paramount Plus again. Paramount Plus or Hulu, one, I can't remember. But
What's the Paul Giamatti movie that's out recently?
The
Holdovers?
Holdovers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Holdovers.
I saw that.
I mean, I think I heard him say that it went to streaming, and it's
Mhm.
supposed to be pretty good, I think. So I'm
It is good. Yeah.
put it down here on my
Yeah.
list.
Did
We
you see
have-
it, Donna?
Yeah.
You did?
Yes. Yes. But I love Paul Giamatti and I loved Sideways. So, same director, I think.
You know
Yeah.
where it's streaming?
Nope. I-
I don't.
I've got too many that they just blur.
Holdovers is probably streaming pretty soon. It was I saw it at an art theater. It wasn't at a major
Yeah, that's where I saw it too. Yeah.
multiplex. Yeah.
And you liked it?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Did it
Says
remind
you can rent it on Prime for $19.99.
I didn't like
Hmm.
it as much as Dream Scenario, but I liked it.
yeah, that's a little deceptive, Pete, when they tell you that it's available to stream now for
Yeah.
$19.95.
Yeah.
You gotta wait a couple of more weeks till it drops
Yep.
off. And
I
Yeah.
can wait.
Everybody's seen the Taylor
I
Swift
can wait.
movie?
The what?
And
What?
The Taylor Swift concert movie.
Oh,
Eras?
Eras Tour.
It's
I want to see it. I haven't seen it yet.
it's breaking all sorts
Have you
of
seen it, Gary?
No. My wife has seen it. My granddaughter's seen it probably 3 times by now. My daughter's seen it a couple times. And I admire the fact that it's got such an attraction. I have not seen it. I would not mind seeing it. I just haven't made it yet.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel. Yeah.
I'm that way with Barbie. Barbie is now on Max and it doesn't cost. It's just your subscription.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's-
well, then you should watch it.
I
It's,
will.
a couple
That's on
hours.
my list for, the next couple of weeks. I'll sit down.
That's worth a
Good.
couple hours of your time.
sure, it is.
We got some extra movies this week.
Yeah.
See, I got 1, 2, 3, 4,
Oh
5,
my.
Well, we got 2 weeks that we're talking about, or 3.
7, 8, like 20 movies.
It's
Wow.
only seven a week. It should be easy.
Oh, and there is one that you could watch with your grandkids. It's called Candy Cane Lane. Eddie Murphy.
Oh yeah, I started that.
So it's a cute kids movie.
Or there's
Beverly Hills Cop is coming out with a new sequel.
next year.
Really? Oh,
Next year, yeah.
Oh,
It's
that'll
in
be
the,
good.
it's in the pipeline.
It's like July or August or something. It's way out
Oh,
there.
is it way out there? Okay.
Yeah.
You
Axel
cannot watch
Foley.
Santa's sleigh with your grandkids.
Okay.
I'm just warning you right now. You cannot.
Is that Santa sleigh?
Pete, remind me of the movie that it's worth watching the first few minutes of.
Santa's sleigh, SLAY,
Okay.
just for the opening scene.
So,
Then
so
turn it off.
Pete,
Where do
when do
you,
you turn the lights on in the tree?
Yeah. As soon as I hang up.
It's dinner time here in Springfield. I'm out. I'm
Right.
out. I'll see you guys
Okay.
next year.
where do
See you next year.
Bye.
Yeah.
I won't see you on
Merry
the 8th.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy New
Myers, Noel.
Where can you see
Take
Santa?
care. Be careful.
What's that,
Bye.
Bill?
Where can you see Santa sleigh at? Bye.
Hulu. I think
Bye.
Hulu or one of them. Hang on.
One of them.
Oh, wait, we gotta find out.
And Pete, I was telling him earlier, I'm gonna be out the 8th, the 15th, and I think the 22nd too.
Oh, yeah?
You going?
I'm kind of going to Florida.
Are you gonna do that Tortuga trip?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime.
Worth $3.99 just for the opening scene.
Oh, you had to rent that, huh?
Only nothing but the finest cinema in this household, Mike.
But don't watch it with the granddaughter.
Oh, absolutely not.
All right.
If you love Goldberg as a wrestler, what I know you did, Bill, you'll love him as Santa.
Oh, great.
Goldberg.
That is true.
All right.
Okay.
All right, y'all.
And girls.
Merry Christmas.
See you
Happy
guys.
New
Merry
Year.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
See you next
Happy
year.
holidays.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.